Good morning, folks. Welcome back to 3's In. I just shared a story entitled Dead Bug about military aviators. And in it, it talked about annex we used to pull at the officers' club. More often, officers' clubs at outbases. This story came to mind. Happened in 1972, perhaps, when I was flying C-141s. I was stationed at McGuire Air Force Base in New Jersey, and often on a trip, we would launch out of McGuire with an airplane, fly down to Dover, pick up cargo, and then head overseas, over to Europe. McGuire would put the airplane together for us, and we would take off, but by the time we got to Dover, we had a lot of things that broke. We had to get it fixed. McGuire was notorious for that, sending airplanes that were patched up, they knew probably wouldn't hold together for the whole mission, and we get down to Dover, and we couldn't take the airplane overseas like that. So we'd get into Dover, write it up, and go into crew rest because we would run out of crew rest before they could get it fixed. And this was the background behind this evening's story. I was flying with another co-pilot. I wouldn't have a clue who the aircraft commander was, but Ron Ruuska and I had gone to Bowling Green together. I think he was a year behind me. And we coasted into Dover Air Force Base that evening, got checked into the BOQ, and then headed over to the officers' club. When we got to the officers' club, I spotted a couple beer mugs sitting in not a trash can, but one of those ashtrays just outside the club. It was late October, so it didn't take me long to put 2 and 19 together and come up with Octoberfest. I mean, it just made sense. So I grabbed the 2 beer mugs. They were Dover Air Force Base Officers Club Octoberfest beer mugs. So I gave one to Ron and said, hey, let's go in and wash these out and see what kind of trouble we can get into. So we walked in and washed them out. Turned out that if you had a beer mug, you paid for the beer, or so they assumed. So we walked in and got free beer. The Officers and Wives Club had a festival going on that night. So you walked into the ballroom, and the ballroom was kind of a U shape. And as you walked around, there were various booths. They were selling different things, raffles and this, that, and the other. So we had our beer mugs topped off, and we're walking through this thing and rounded the corner and started down, and really festive night, and it was really packed. But as we walked along the booths, there was this one booth that was kind of empty. It was empty. So I looked at Ron and said, what the hell? So we ducked underneath the table there, got behind the booth, took a piece of paper and wrote, "Kiss a Pilot, 25 cents. Taped it on the side of the booth and just stood there drinking beer, talking with each other, And rather than walking around the thing, we had people walking by and we could see all the activity going on. Well, pretty soon, these gals came up, wanted to kiss a pilot, so they threw a quarter on the table. So we got a jar, set it out, and started collecting quarters and had a ball. Just really festive. At the night, I don't know how much we had, $10, $15, $20, I don't know. But we sat there till we had to go into crew rest. They had that 12-hour bottle of throttle rule. So we stayed there until the airplane was going to be fixed, or we came within that 12-hour window. And then when we finished drinking, we took the jar full of money, gave it to the OWC. Everybody was happy. Just a fun night that night. So that's one of the stories that came to mind when I read that email I just shared with you. So you get to a kissing booth, kiss a pilot, it's only 25 cents. Good to see everybody.